you've heard the other speakers speak a little bit about what is happening in Bangladesh and what has happened. I want to bring a few things to everyone's attention, and this is something I believe that the international community needs to focus on. First of all, you have heard the refrain again and again that about the deaths during the July-August protests of 2024. Here is what no one is talking about. You have various counts on the numbers. You have the UN number of 1,400, whereas the government number is 800 something. Who are these additional 600 people? Where did the UN get those names? Our party has written to the UN, our lawyers have written to the UN again and again, and to date, the UN has not provided any names. But more importantly, the UN only covers a period up to August 15th of 2024. But we know that the deaths continued. And what is most alarming, and this is something that I believe that the press, the international press, should really, really pay attention to. You see, the Yunus regime, one of the first things they did was pass an ordinance which became law called the Indemnity Bill, indemnifying all the protesters, everyone, blanket immunity, protecting them from any prosecution for any killings. That includes killings of civilians, that includes killings of our party members, and that includes killings of police officers. To date, the BNP government that is in power, they have ratified this ordinance, turned it into law, and this continues, which means that none of the police killings, we still don't know exactly the number of police deaths, none of the police killings can be prosecuted. So my question to you is this: are killings okay? Are killings acceptable? If you can have blanket immunity for protesters to kill police officers, to kill civilians, to kill Awami League members and leaders, then why blame anybody? That is the first issue I would like to focus on, the indemnity. I think this is something that has not been paid attention to. This is unprecedented. How can you have blanket legal protection for killings by anyone? Especially killings of police officers. This is unprecedented. This is completely against all human rights, against all norms of decency. Secondly, what you have had since August of 2024, you have had thousands, tens of thousands of people behind bars, which are all now, on one hand, most of them, many of them are Awami League members and leaders. Most of them are being held without any trial, without any due process, without any bail. Many of them are elderly, in their 80s. Their health is failing. Many of them have died in police custody. Not only that, killings in police custody have continued. We have documented them. We have put them up on our websites, on our Facebook pages, full list of names, exactly when, which prison they died, under whose custody. Most of them were young. They had no reason to die. They were all killed extrajudicially by the Yunus regime, and those killings continue even today. Outside of the prisons, during the Yunus regime, and even now, our party members are being hunted down and killed. Every few weeks, someone is killed somewhere. There is no due process. The police do not take any action, and the government protects these killers. So political killing in Bangladesh since August of 2024 has been legalized. This is Bangladesh today. And if any killings are legal, then why blame the Awami League at all? And finally, Since 2024, not only Awami League members and leaders that have been behind bars, but anyone sympathetic to the Awami League. This includes journalists and businessmen, especially journalists, editors, owners of newspapers and television channels who were seen as pro-Awami League, have been behind bars for over 2 years now. You are the press club. Imagine if half of you, your members, your journalists, your editors, your media owners were held behind bars without bail, without due process, without charges, without trial for an indefinite period of time. Can that be imagined in any country? Is that possible in any country? Is that legal in any way? That is a gross, gross violation of human rights, of freedom of speech. And this is something I believe that should certainly alarm the international media community. This is what's happening in Bangladesh. So Bangladesh today is a failed state. It's not a failing state. It is a failed state. There is no human rights. There is no freedom of speech. Even prior to this event, intelligence services went to the headquarters and offices of every major media outlet, every major newspaper, and instructed them clearly not to rebroadcast this event, not just to rebroadcast this event, but not to provide any coverage from any international media on this event. They're not allowed to share links from foreign media on their websites. Any journalists that were seen as still sympathetic to our government or against this government, many of them were fired even in the last couple of days. This is what's happening in Bangladesh. And what is the future? What does the future hold? There is no law and order. There is no constitution in Bangladesh today. What should concern India most is Bangladesh has become another Pakistan on India's eastern side. You have another Pakistan today on your eastern front. Foreign intelligence services, especially ISI, has an open hand. Militants, hundreds of convicted terrorists that our Awami League government arrested and convicted and put behind bars, have been released from prison. Hizb ut-Tahrir marches openly. Al-Qaeda operatives speak at public rallies. This is what is happening in Bangladesh. And this does not portend well for India and the world at large. In the future, the next set of terrorists globally are going to be coming from Bangladesh, unless this is stopped now. And where it has to begin is from the media, especially you in India. You are the world's largest democracy. Your media has reach. You cannot take this as a sensational story only when something sensational, headline-worthy happens. This is something you have to cover every day. This is something that you have to raise international awareness of. If you raise it, the international media will pick it up. If the international media covers it, it will come to the attention of international leaders. That is what needs to be done. If that is not done, then Bangladesh's future is bleak. India's future security is bleak. As to what the future holds, who knows? But right now, this is the future. The Constitution doesn't exist. Even if we hope that in 4 years there will be an election in Bangladesh, who knows what form it'll take. The BNP, running unopposed, has a 2/3 majority. They can amend the Constitution however they want and ensure that the elections are set up just like the Yunus regime did, so that the BNP wins. What you have now is not justice. You've heard our former Minister Naufel talk about this. What is happening is not justice. What is happening is political exclusion of the opposition, of the largest political party in Bangladesh, in order to grab and hold on to power. That is what is happening in Bangladesh. This is democratic and electoral manipulation. That is all it is. The BNP knows that the Awami League is allowed to speak freely. People of Bangladesh are not happy right now. The economy has collapsed in the last 2 years under the corruption of the Yunus regime, and that corruption continues today under their economic mismanagement, both under the Yunus regime and the current regime. Bangladesh is on the verge of total collapse. In a few more years, the economy will have collapsed and Bangladesh will turn into a rogue state. The time to act is now. And I urge you, the place to start is in the media. We need you to bring the world's attention to this. With that, I conclude my speech. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Awad and the National Press Club for hosting us. Joy Bangla.